Remember, there's a larger trend at play, Rahul Verma, which is to do with elections in India becoming more and more bipolar. So whether it's a state like West Bengal, where it's now TMC versus BJP, Uttar Pradesh, BJP versus the Samajwadi Party, Karnataka now, JDS fading into the oblivion as the third front. In Uttar Pradesh, the BSP is fading into the oblivion. So elections largely seem to be becoming bipolar. So anything that Sachin Pilot tries to do, which involves setting up a third front, has a larger political trend which could play against it.
Rahul, that's true. You're absolutely right that in comparison to the past, more states have become bipolar.
Why is that happening in your view? Why?
Many reasons, but let me first answer your question on this. See, leaders are not prisoners of data and past. They create future. So there are also states which are becoming multipolar from being bipolar. A good example is Gujarat. A good example is Punjab, right? And so while it would be difficult for Sachin Pilot to mount a challenge by forming a new party and a third front, as Sanjay ji pointed out, especially given there is a short period of time, but also because it's a bipolar state. So in a bipolar state, to make it a triangular contest, it's a taller order for him to do that, but you can't rule out any of these things. The reason elections are becoming bipolar in most states has to do with the national party system changing, with the rise of BJP and consequent decline of the Congress, but also because settled pattern of competition such as alliances are breaking up, new parties are rising, some are declining, and so multiple reasons which leads to some of these things.
Okay. Rashid Kidwai, your best sense at this moment, how seriously is Sachin Pilot weighing the idea of setting up his own party? Is that something that he's actually actively thinking about, or is this just posturing and trying to cut a good deal because you've got less than half a year to go in that much time to build up a party structure to do meaningfully well? Because if he sets up his party, puts up his candidates, ends up with only a handful of seats, it would be mighty embarrassing for him.
Absolutely. I think Rahul, Sachin Pilot is a very, I would say, a shrewd politician. He knows what is the situation in the ground. He understands that Congress needs him in Rajasthan and perhaps outside Rajasthan also, and the kind of treatment he's getting from the, three members of the Gandhi family, as well as Mr. Kharge, the meeting we keep talking about, which was held. So Mr. Kharge apparently had pulled up, Ashok Gehlot, that his government's performance is slightly on the decline, and while he had said it described Mr. Sachin Pilot as a kind of asset. So now, if Sachin Pilot's question is that if at all he is an asset, then why is he not being used? Why his services are not being utilized? So this is the question. That so it remains overall a very internal matter of the Congress party. I don't think Sachin Pilot at this juncture of time in June 2023 is looking for a life outside Congress.
Also, Ajay Kumar, someone like you as well left the Congress, later came back. Part of this is just to do with the Congress's inability to keep bright talent on board, to engage with someone like you constantly, to ensure that, a lot of it is a human resource management. And the Congress, at least so far, has been really bad at this, which is why the likes of a Himanta Biswa Sarma, the likes of a Jyotiraditya Scindia have left your party. I mean, you went back, but these people haven't, and they've caused in the Northeast and in Madhya Pradesh significant damage to your party structure.
No, I think, look, Rahul, it's, for my case, it was something I still, and if you remember, so it's not anything to do with me, but I think the leadership is phenomenally inclusive. There's no debate on that, and my letter is very clear on it. We might have different elements and part of it like any other party. But it would be very naive, Rahul, to look at it from a human resource perspective, for the simple reason is when we were in power, then we had no human resources challenges, right? And then suddenly when we are not in power, these human resources challenges seem to be insurmountable. So
no, but so many leaders weren't leaving the BJP even when they were much smaller and in the opposition.
I'll just complete now. My question again is, the majority of the leaders, if you look at the number of the Bharatiya Janata Party has got, I think, if I remember, on 100 odd members of parliament from across from the Congress. Whether it's Madhya Pradesh, where Shahzad ji was saying that they're performing well, was they only performed when they were able to break it up or go on any place else, or what happened in Assam, any other state. But that's the phenomenal amount of engagement in the past few years. Now, if decency and access to leadership is the weakness of whether it is the Congress president or whether it's Mr. Gandhi or anybody else in the leadership, whether it's Priyanka ji or Venu ji, I don't know, the question is every time you're not able to satisfy everyone's ambition, yes, those are challenges we face. But I definitely believe that the ability to speak up and to say that, because look, if you are able to, and let's put it from this perspective, and if you can indulge me for a couple of minutes. Let's
Keep
imagine,
it short, 20 seconds, quickly please.
Okay, so if we are able, in Karnataka, you have all the BJP guys jumping ship. Somehow the other, you are able to pick up these few leaders and say, look at the number of people who shifted ships across.